Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, Alex, got a question for you. You hear it all the time. Always invest up to the employer match. Uh, the train of thought behind that is because it's free money. It's 100% return. If you invest, 5%, the employer match up to 5%, and that's the free 5%. So, what are your thoughts on that? On if you have a 401k, you should at least put up to the match into the employer's 401k.
I believe it should be up to the match. Because I mean, at least in our household, the minimum is the match because they're gonna match that same amount of money at your job. So, I mean, there's all kinds of debates on YouTube of whether or not you should even invest in a 401k. I know Grant Cardone is against it. And I get all the points where they say, well, you lock your money in up until, 60. So if you're 20, you're locking your money for 40 years. So I get it. Maybe you don't want to contribute a which very few are doing this, but let's say someone that's being well versed in investing, maybe they don't want to contribute a high amount to their 401k because they want to invest in other areas. I understand that, but at least do the match because it's an opportunity there for them to match the amount that you're putting in. So that's how I view it. I know that there's other assets or investments I can put my money into that I have immediate access to. I can, touch it right there or whatever, rather than a retirement account. But it is still a good option, I believe, to invest and get that free money that the employer will give you.
And those are good points that you brought up. And just for the people that don't know the counter argument to that, people that's well versed in the financial space, well versed in the investment space, and have different avenues and opportunities to invest, they say people shouldn't put their money in a 401k because their money is locked up to their 59 and a half, and then they have to pay taxes on it afterwards. My train of thought behind that argument is most people, their only investment will be their 401k. So if that's going to be your only investment because you don't want to put in the work or you're afraid of the markets and everything else or what have you, or just your financial situation, you should at least put the match in because at least you save something. At least you're investing in something. Uh, but and then the train of thought behind that is you put money in this place and then you have it here and then you have at least a little nest egg. As far as invested up to the match on the 401k, I believe is necessary. But this is the part that people leave out when they say that. They leave out the fact is if you invest up to the match in a 401k, but you leave the investment in the default investment that your employer put you in. For most employers, it's the target retirement fund, which target the date that's closest to 59 and a half or 60 years old for you. Most of the money that's in the match will be going to administrative fees, 401k fees, and management fees of the funds that they put you in. So it's kind of like a wash. So you have to do two things so you can get the free money. You have to move from the default investment and you have to invest up to the match. Because, and Alex, we went over this a million times on this channel of showing the perspectives and showing how much the fees are. And then if you don't know the fees of your 401k, just look it up. Look up the administration fees. Look up the 401k fees. Go look up the management fees for the things that they have you invested in, especially these target retirement accounts. But this is what I did. And I always, when people come ask me what they should do, I always explain what I did. And what I do is the default investment, of course, was a target retirement account. I took it out and I put it in a mutual fund that's indexed to the S&P 500 or indexed to the NASDAQ 100 with the lowest management fees possible. And I just did the math, looking at the target retirement accounts already, just because you're in the 401k, they're going to charge you fees. The administration fees, they're already going to charge you fees. But then when you go to the target retirement account, the fund itself is charging you fees. But then when you look into the fund and then you look at the individual other funds that it's invested in, those things charge you fees also. So it wipes out the 4 or 5% that your employer is going to match every month. I mean, every year because it's all going to fees. So it's just your money working. But if you transfer out of that and then put it in one of these mutual funds that's indexed to the NASDAQ or something like that, the percentage of management fees for the fund itself is little to nothing. I think it's like 0.02%. But if you leave it into these other investment accounts that's defaulted by the employer, they're just taking their match away, but it's giving the employer a tax write-off, but it's not giving you any optimal benefit as somebody that's investing in a 401k. So I think it's two things you need to do if you want to get that almost 100% return from the employer, not just invest up to the match. You need to change that investment to a mutual fund that's indexed to the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think in any account, if you're going to be putting money into to invest, that you need to know what you're investing in. And you're absolutely right. I mean, if you're going to invest in an account, a 401k, where most of or all your money is going to target retirement funds, and the employers are charging you fees and what they contribute to you is going to be wiped out, then there's really no reason to invest to begin with. It almost seems like they're getting back their money that they're contributing to you. So, they sell you that false idea that they're, giving you a match, and then they take it right back. So yeah, you definitely need to know what you're investing in. That is very important in any asset field.
And with all that being said, please like, subscribe, put the comments in the comment section. If you think me and Alex is full of crap, put that in the comment section also. We reply to all comments, no matter good, better, and different. We're not going to argue with you. We'll just give you the data, the facts, and our opinion on it. With all that being said, we'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a good one.
See you guys.